Hey guys, welcome to a webinar of OpenLM. I am Saki. I will be your host for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So, first of all, welcome. And what are we going to talk about today? So, first of all, we're going to take a look at the core product of OpenLM, but we'll do it with a twist this time. We'll be taking a look at cloud servers. Now, OpenLM has a new feature in version 4.5, which allows you to interact with cloud-based license managers. Now, you might have Adobe on the cloud, and users simply access the Adobe server to get licenses. You might be using ArcGIS Cloud. You might be using Autodesk or even Cloud 365, Office 365. So what can you do then? Basically everything that you can do with the other types of license managers. If it's on-premise, if it's cloud, you'll be able to provide full monitoring of both the usage and the allocation. You'll get full management capabilities just like any other license manager. And of course, the holy grail, the reports of OpenLM. So all reports stay the same. So what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about cloud license servers, meaning vendors which are based on the cloud and it supplies licenses from the cloud to your own system, to your own network. So all you need to do is simply use the OpenLM server to connect directly to the cloud license server. And then all the data is compiled as usual into the OpenLM system. You get all the reports that you need. You get everything from avoiding audits to reducing licensing cost and all the different benefits that on-premise license servers offer OpenLM. The same with cloud-based license servers. So let's first of all try and see what is it that you're getting. Let's say that we're not talking about OpenLM now. Now we are referring to what you get when you buy a few licenses of Autodesk and it's based on the cloud. So what do you get? Basically, you just get a list of licenses and who's allocated to those licenses. How many seats are available? Not a lot that you can do with that information. Now that's Autodesk, what we've seen now. So there's AutoCAD here, and we see that this is basically it. This is basically what we get. Now, if we take a look at ArcGIS, now ArcGIS gives us a bit more. It gives us the total amount of licenses, who is using right now, which is great. But still, they don't supply any reports, anything that we really can use. So from this, you cannot understand if you need more licenses, less licenses. You don't know what's going on. Just know how far you are from maxing licenses right now. Let's take another example. Let's say Adobe. You got an Adobe console and users pull licenses from there. So what do you get there? You get which licenses are reserved. That's basically it. Use licenses, total licenses. You don't get any reporting, any monitoring, you don't get any management, no capabilities whatsoever. So what OpenLM does basically is monitor those license managers, and it allows you to incorporate all the information into the OpenLM database, meaning that all the data goes in all the reports as usual. So license usage, license activity, everything stays the same. Okay, so let's check it out. First of all, I'll open the my system here, where you can see I have a few cloud-based license managers. I have ArcGIS Online, Autodesk Cloud, Adobe Cloud, and you might notice that there are two types. If we take a look at ArcGIS, then ArcGIS gives us both usage and quantity, and we can monitor both in one server, no problem. But let's take Autodesk, for example. So there are two Autodesk. One is for the quantity, and the other is for the usage itself. Now, the usage itself is monitored using the unmanaged extension, meaning that the usage itself is being monitored on the workstations via the process of the application, while the quantity and allocations are taken in from the cloud server itself. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, so I have it in two servers. Won't that cause an issue in the reports? Well, not really. When you go to the report, you'll simply need to, instead of choosing one feature, you'll choose two features. Now you'll choose the allocation and the usage itself. So you can impose both of them on the same graph, and then you can get the license quantity and concurrent usage, just like all other reports of OpenLM, meaning that it goes straight into the data flow of OpenLM and nothing else needs to be done. You just need to take into account that now you have two license servers here. One is for the usage, one is for the allocation itself. So this is true, again, to the heat map, table, even the license activity. As you can see here, we see all the different sessions from the product Photoshop that's taken from the cloud license manager itself. And it gives us everything, usage, time, whatever we need, even aggregation of the usage time by the different groups, by the server, by the feature, whatever we choose. Now, due to the fact that it's a floating license, it's a floating license server usually. So you'd care about everything. You'd care about its license usage, its activity, but you'll also care about the utilization. So the utilization itself is also incorporated into the OpenLM report, meaning that it doesn't matter if it's cloud-based, if it's on-premise, you get the same reports, even the license utilization report that actually tells you how many licenses you need. So taking a look at this cloud server, which is Adobe, taking a look at this Adobe, I see the amount of time spent on each concurrent usage level, meaning that if we show it unaggregated, like 9 licenses was like 13% of the time, something like that. But we see that it was never used over 47 licenses concurrently. It never went up to 48 licenses. So it allows us to set, of course, the quality of service. And we can say that if we're okay with the fact that 95% of checkouts will result in a license checkout and not in a denial, meaning that they'll get the license. If I'm okay with the fact that 95% of the times they'll get the license, then in this instance, I only need 42 licenses instead of the 69 licenses that I have here. Now again, this can be done for both on-premise and cloud license managers. Now, okay, we've seen that some use two license servers, one unmanaged and one for the allocation, one for the usage, one for the allocation. But who uses what? So basically, OpenLM now supports a few different types of cloud-based license managers, 4 types to be exact. Now we support Adobe, ArcGIS, Autodesk, and Office 365. Now the only one that doesn't require unmanaged processes is ArcGIS because, as you've seen, it gives us both usage and the amount of licenses that we have. That means that Adobe, Autodesk, and Office 365, they actually require another license server to be created, an unmanaged one, an unmanaged process that monitors Autodesk, Adobe, and Office 365 on the workstations themselves. So let's see how easy it is to configure it. All you need to do is simply go to the OpenLM server configuration tool. In the new versions, it's simply called OpenLM server. Once you open it, of course, then you'll click add and you'll see that you have a few new selection options here like Adobe Cloud, ArcGIS Online, Autodesk Cloud. So you'll need to set it to UTC time, give it a name, input the console hostname. Now this is the same console that we accessed right here, just the console link. And input, of course, the user, password, and that's it. Then OpenLM, if we click test, we can see what it gets. Oh. So clicking on that, we see the output itself. We see that it's outputting the different features and everything. So this is taken into the OpenLM database, into the reports. Now, once you configure that, you simply click apply. No need to restart anymore. And that's it. That's basically it. Now that's for the quantity side. That's for the allocations. You simply connect remotely and that's it. Now for the usage itself, we can go to administration, unmanaged processes, and you see here that I have created it as a vendor, but you can create a new one or add a feature, add a process to that vendor. It's real simple. We just open that up. We decide the name of the feature, the process name of the feature, and then we can decide what to do with it. For example, if we want to close it after a while, for example, it can sense that it's idling, and if it goes over like 80% usage, it can start releasing licenses that have like, let's say 60 minutes of idle time. So that can also be done using the unmanaged processes. And this will give us, of course, the usage itself, and the end result, as you've seen, is a report that's imposed one on top of the other to see both allocation and usage. And that's basically it for the cloud-based license managers. We welcome you to try it out. If you have a cloud-based license manager and was wondering how to support it, now OpenLM can support it. Now OpenLM is able to give you all the information that you're looking for and even allows you to have some management on it. So you'll be able to interfere with the sessions, close them, and so on. Now I want to move on to another subject. There's a new service OpenLM offers. It is called the OpenLM Health Check. So we can go live with you. You call us up, the OpenLM support team, we go live with you, we check your system. We see first that you have everything configured correctly, that you have everything fully configured. We check all the different extensions and that you are using them. We basically do an overhaul of your system. We go over each and every part. We take a look at CPU usage. We take a look at the logs. We check if you have any unused extensions. We pretty much go over everything that we can to give you an eventually to give you a certificate that says, hey, my OpenLM system is up and running, is validated, and an OpenLM engineer tested it and it now approves that it's fully valid. Now, this you can take to the auditing organization, to the vendor, to your management. Whoever needs that certification, you'll have that. First of all, you'll know that your data is fully valid. Secondly, you'll have proof for that. So if you would like to get a health check, your system checked out, then simply call up our sales team or support. So you can call us up or send us an email to support@openlm.com. You can send also to sales@sales.openlm.com, and we can set up a health check. Now, if you have renewed your license, the health check comes free of charge with the renewal. And now I would like to hear from you. If you have any questions, anything that you'd like to know regarding cloud-based license managers. So go ahead, you can use the go to webinar questions box. There's a little chat box there, you can just use that, ask away if you have any question regarding any cloud-based license managing system that you'd like. So go ahead, ask. I'll stay here for a few minutes more to answer any questions you might have. Okay, I have a guy asking here a question regarding, well, basically it's security. Where is the console password kept? Where does it get stored? So basically it gets stored within the OpenLM system. It gets stored within the OpenLM database itself, but it's encrypted. No one will be able to access that information. Who can see it outside the company? Nobody. It's all of OpenLM system is enclosed, meaning that if you have an OpenLM server installation, you connect your cloud license manager to it, then all the data streaming from the cloud license manager, including the credentials that you gave it, the username, the password, everything inside it, it basically goes into the OpenLM database, gets encrypted, and that's it. No one can access it because it's an enclosed system. Oh, wonderful. Now, I would like to point out that in order to have the unmanaged processes set up, that means set up the monitoring of usage itself, not the quantity, just the usage, then you'll need to install the OpenLM agent on the end user workstation. Now, the agent is a small component, a workstation agent, which transmits information to the OpenLM server. It tells it, oh, now AutoCAD is being used. He used it since 1 o'clock, and he seems to be using it. Doesn't seem to be idling. So you'll need that on the workstations to get all the usage into OpenLM. Now, the agent itself can be rolled out either using SCCM, using GPO. You can use just silent rollout and roll it out from like a central shared folder. Or, you can just double click next, and it works. So it depends how many workstations you got. You got 10, I would say go manually one by one. You got 10,000, I would say use SCCM. But basically, we have options to roll it out very easily. The user doesn't even know that it's being installed. What is the cost for the service? So the service itself is charged by the vendor. If you got an extra vendor, then you're charged for that. Basically, the OpenLM scheme, the pricing scheme goes by vendors and users, but as for cloud-based license managers, at the moment, it's only on the vendor itself. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Yes, Alex. We suggest using the unmanaged processes, as you see here, but you can also do that with the applications manager. If you currently have an applications manager, you can also set it up to work with that. No problem. Can we link CAD and Adobe licenses on one PC, then see the reports per PCs? Can we link CAD and Adobe licenses on the yeah, indeed, we can. You can do that. First of all, using the license activity report, let's go back there. You'll see that you can group by also the workstation itself. So these workstations you see here are encrypted. These are encrypted names because this is a client database and we really can't show like personal information. So you see these workstations, but basically you can aggregate the usage by the workstation itself in all the different reports here. You can filter it by the workstation here even. And if you use the reporting hub, which allows you to custom query your OpenLM database, then of course you can do whatever you like with it. Play around with the data, drag and drop, create your own reports, and of course that you can do that also using the also using the workstation itself. So you can aggregate by the workstation, either Adobe or CAD, whichever CAD application you're using. You can combine them both by the workstation. You can get higher resolution, whatever you'd like. Now, if you'd like, I'll open up the reporting hub that I've been talking about, just for you to quickly understand what I mean by custom querying the database itself. So basically, the reporting hub is an extension of OpenLM that allows you to custom query your database, create your own queries. So basically, you wanted the different features. I just drag features inside, and you wanted different workstations. You could just drag it inside. And let's say that we want session duration. Can get that and just drag that inside. We got the session duration per workstation, per feature. You can filter it, aggregate it, however you'd like. I'm not going to do that now because it's not the focus of the webinar. We do have a webinar that focuses on the reporting hub, but if you would like more information on it, simply send support team, the support at openlm.com, send the OpenLM support team your request, and we can set up a session for going over all the different extensions of OpenLM, what needs to be installed for each one, what each one gives you, and of course we'll be also going over the reporting hub and actual usage, all the different extensions of OpenLM. Just have to notify us, we'll set up a meeting. Okay? Okay, guys. So if no one has any further questions, then I would thank you very much first for joining me on this webinar today. I hope it was informative. I hope it was interesting, that you maybe found out a few things about OpenLM that you didn't already know. If you would like to test out the different cloud vendors, if you would like to get a trial evaluation, like 30 days of the tool, of the extension, just let us know and we'll set you up with an evaluation for you to see if it works or not. The ways to contact us is either just sending us an email to support@openlm.com, or you can go to our website. Clicking contact us will show you all the different numbers that we have that you can call. But you can also click on this chat button right here, which will pull up the chat. You can choose the language that you want and just start chatting with us. This is the fastest way to contact the OpenLM support team because it rings all across all our offices. Someone will pick it up. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Bye.